FMPone's work on the Source 2 version of Cache continues. I covered his first pictures of it a few months back, but since then a lot more pictures and locations have been revealed, so I then went and compared those with the CSGO version that we're familiar with already as well. Since my last video, it seems he's chosen a different lighting style for the map, so I might as well start with how that compares with how it looked when I last compared this map. So the new lighting seems less orangey and the sky looks stormier. I'd also like to point out this 3D grass, which right now looks like a bunch of hair plugs. FMPone, please fix. Let's jump to the latest pictures of the map he's released, being of A main, and containing a graffiti piece by Danky. As I flick between the before and after pictures, you'll notice these positions don't fully line up, and that's because I'm sorry. It's hard to do. The new version of this room has much lighter coloured walls, and some red stuff that bleeds its colour around the rest of it. The wooden floor has been swapped out for a concrete one, which, if nothing else, will make it sound different when you run on it. And the lockers have been made smaller. That's shrinkflation for you. The ceiling is higher and some new skylight windows have been added, which might allow for terrorists to smoke through them from long A. Although, them being very small, the throws will need to be extremely precise. This rather elaborate, inaccessible room from before has been emptied and simplified, which I suppose will improve character readability in front of this area for the Source 2 version. I'm intrigued by these lights here that are cast across the floor. I strongly suspect they're baked in and won't project shadows of enemies as they run past them, but if they do cast shadows, they could give away approaching players' positions to anyone hidden around this corner here. Something to think about, but like I said, I suspect it's baked in because it has variable penumbras and all that shit. Oh, and it looks like this prop's got a bit smaller too. Exciting stuff. The next newest batch of pictures shows checkers, and I'm happy to say the checkers are still intact. The most notable addition is, again, some new windows. These cannot be seen through, nor have grenades pass through them, but FMPone himself has said that they allow people to shoot through them. Theoretically, from the back of B right through to quad at the back of A. It's going to be chaos. If you ask me, the new version's wall textures look lower in resolution than the old ones did, but it could just be that for these sneak preview pics, the anisotropic filtering hasn't been turned up high enough. As with A main, the ceiling here has been opened up and raised. But what does all this mean? For this, we'll have to boot up the CSGO version and see the former situation with these roof lights. So you used to be able to lob grenades through all these windows, but this metal grille beneath them would have prevented them from reaching ground level. The half of checkers closest to the vent was closed off, and the other half was pretty open and just inviting grenades to come in from elsewhere. Now, CS2 giveth and taketh. The grille is no longer here, but there are now these rather large pipes which might serve the same grenade blocking purpose, and the ceiling that used to be completely open at the back of checkers has now been closed up. So if anything, I think it looks like it'll be harder to lob grenades into this area from elsewhere now. So just like with the new small roof lights from A main, it'll really encourage precise setup throws instead of tossing off willy-nilly with gay abandon. No homo. An area to pay attention to will be this wall that divides back of checkers from CT halls. Not that there's any sign that it's significantly changed, but what if? What if this new, fragile looking window just above the bangable metal grille is also bangable? What could that mean? What if there is a way to toss grenades through one of these dark areas now? What if it's like Mario, where any nades tossed into this pipe here are teleported out the other side somewhere? Along with these pictures of checkers, FMPone bundled this bonus picture with the same post, showing Garage, now complete with a much lighter, warmer glow. This is a far cry from the Far Cry green overgrown look of the Source 1 version, again appearing simpler and probably more readable. And it's interesting to see that the crate in the corner has been removed and a few massive concrete slabs added instead, and a shrub which I will no doubt be hiding in almost every round. I wonder if this raised spot here is to aid in setup grenade throws, and if even this is just a temporary addition, as this area doesn't feel fully fleshed out to me just yet. He's also posted this picture of B, and I love how moist and reflective this new floor is, and also how shiny these new metal shell casing things are. The whole image appears to be less contrasty than the older version of the map was, which I think makes it appear less striking at first glance. It's almost Counter-Strike. They say when God closes a door, he opens up a window, something FMPone has done here by closing up the ceiling, but then adding a bunch of large windows to either side of the site. Does this mean the CT corridor leading up to the site will be opened up to the outside? Or is this all just still work in progress? Jury's out. Looking around, it seems that gameplay will remain pretty much unchanged, but there's now a fiery barrel in this corner, which will light it up and make it look prettier, I guess. He's also posted some pictures of Bombsite A, which conflicts with these, which were some earlier ones that he'd posted, presumably to tease the possibility of the whole site being rotated to an off angle of sorts. This would have all manner of gameplay consequences, which I shan't even begin to speculate about here, especially when its newer pictures of this area have reverted to the angles that we know this site as being already. So this seems to be one place that's got darker than the Source 1 version of the map, and I suspect it's all to allow this fire to light up the greasy backside of this bad boy. Nice. I know already that this foliage is going to be removed at some point for obstructing visibility, and so is all this rain that's streaming down from the heavens. But Pone wouldn't remove wetness from the sky without adding a splishy sploshy looking puddle somewhere, and here it is. Lovely. And yeah, apart from that, no other changes to speak of. None whatsoever. Apart from that the iconic tank in the middle of the map has been replaced with a massive crate. Placeholder change, I'm sure. It just takes a long time to make a good tank, doesn't it? I noticed that in this corner, this tarpaulin thing has got thicker and taller. Its top now risen to the same height as the crates are behind it. I set up a boost here in the CS2 version to know what this could mean. Standing on the head of a teammate, you can still boost up high enough that you can get onto the top of the crates. So it's not going to stop people from boosting up here, but it will affect your visibility when stood on this spot on the head of a teammate, especially when looking back out towards CT truck and especially to the bombsite itself. On one hand, it could make this boost spot more powerful as he'd be more concealed by the tarpaulin thing, but it also means you won't be able to see somebody defusing the bomb unless you jump onto the very top of the crates themselves, which would greatly expose yourself to the elements and bullets. This previously climbable cabinet with the suspicious doors, check out this video here to know more about them, look like they've been swapped out for concrete blocks, which could be climbable from more angles than before, because you used to have to climb on this bit here. And with that, I'm now up to date, covering all the latest images of Source 2 cache. So until next time, keep it real, be cool, and peace out, bitches.